What's up, people of YouTube? It's the F-Man Critic back, and today I thought we would do something special. I thought we could do a 2-on-1 review. That's right, we're going to review 2 movies in one video. I thought, due to the fact that the new spin-off show, Monsters at Work, since it just came out today, I thought, and it's kind of obvious, we can review Monsters Inc. and Monsters University. Now, I love Disney movies. I think they're awesome, heartwarming, and it really shows the animation, how it's really good and how it's outstanding, and how Disney is just wow, and Pixar just being amazing, and just, you know. Anyway, I know a lot of people don't like Monsters University due to the fact that apparently that's how Sully and Mike met, even though in Monsters Inc. Mike said this. Sorry. So yeah, apparently they knew each other in 4th grade, but apparently Monsters University tells us that they met in college. Well, technically, they tried to make a scene. I mean, if you watch the deleted scenes, apparently they tried to make sure, or they met in 4th grade or whatever. Just, yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And they never did. Whatever, I like to ignore that scene, whatever, it's fine. But, despite that, I don't actually hate Monsters University. Anyway, despite it when it's about Mike and Sully meeting, what is the story? Well, it follows these 2 goofballs, Mike and Sully. The one that's blue and covered in purple polka dots is Sully, and the one who's green and has one eye is Mike. Apparently, Mike wanted to be a scarer, so he goes to this college called Monsters University. They scare because they care. Where he can become a true scarer. But due to his smallness and one eye, he's not scary. I mean, apparently monsters can be born or not being scary. And he gets outstaged by Sully, and through the adventure, they kind of accidentally ticked off the principal, Demon Hot Scramble, who kind of nearly kicked them out of the scare program or something. So what happens is Mike and Sully signs up to this game called Oods Macabre, because if they win the scaring games, Mike and Sully get to stay in the school. But if they don't, they're out. They're meted by many new friends, like their teammates, like this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, I guess, if that counts. Fun characters, lovable. I wish we got to see him, and you know, they're also rival by the leader. What was his name again? West or whatever. Point is, the purple one with horns is technically their rival, and I'm just gonna say it. I really liked it. That's because in Monsters Inc., apparently Randall, the purple one right here, is a villain, and that's really sad because I liked it his character in Monsters University. He was friendly. He was kind. I'm shy, sure, but I liked his character then. And I hated that he grew up hating Sully and wanted to outdo him on scaring children. That's why he ended up being one of the villains in Monsters Inc. It's so sad, you know? I really liked did Randall, but when he turned into a villain, it's just sad, you know? I really hated that. I mean, if they ever do make a Monsters Inc. 2, I hope to God they give Randall a redemption, because personally, Sorry, I thought that was the door. That was the washing machine. If you just heard that banging then, I thought that was the door. Turns out it was the washing machine. Anyway, I really hope that if they ever do make a sequel, which I guess is the show, Monsters at Work, I hope they give Randall a redemption, because I know I know we'll get to all the bad stuff he'll do in a minute, but I really liked his character in Monsters U. The only reason he turned bad was because he lost to the scaring games by Sully, you know? Oh, it's really sad to see a nice guy turn bad. You know, it's really horrible. Well, I mean, I liked it when he was nice. Who wouldn't? Anyway, all that aside, so they kind of win the scaring games because Sully cheated, and then Michael tried to go into a human world and then try to... Point is, it gets a little crazy afterwards. Then they do this awesome thing that even surprises their principal, because apparently they managed to scare the adults from the human world to generate enough power so that where they can get out. It was pretty cool. I mean, they still got expelled, but yeah, it was kind of bad. And I mean, this movie kind of reminds me a lot about Dumb and Dumber, where Harry met Lloyd. It's kind of got like the same qualities, kind of. It just mostly just reminds me when they met. That's all. Oh, anyway, yeah, Monsters University is an okay prequel. Well, I can understand why not many people like it. I can understand that. I mean, a lot of people actually wanted to see a sequel about Boo. I can understand that. I mean, the reason why I'm reviewing this movie first instead of Monsters Inc. is because, you know, I thought, due to the fact it's a prequel, I thought, you know, we get prequels done and then we do the sequel. Technically do them in order. Sort of. I mean, the release date is, you know, not in order, but you get the drift. I'm just trying to do these movies kind of in order. First prequel, then movie, then sequel. That's what I do. Okay? Anyway, Monsters University is a crazy prequel that sure doesn't add up what Mikey said about, you've been jealous of my look since the 4th grade. And sure, they got expelled, even though, and Dave and Hardscrabble tried to do everything she could, but they still got expelled. All in all, I thought this movie was kind of cool. The characters were fun. The montages were fun, and the scaring games, that looked like fun too. That's the kind of thing is, you know, I might actually want to go to college because of this movie, you know, because it looks like fun. Although they never really got to Monsters Inc. the traditional way, you know, being a scarer, technically how they did it is because they worked in the mail room, because apparently they were hiring in the mail room, and apparently they worked their way up to being on the scare floor. Or what do I rank this movie? I rank Monsters University a solid 8 out of 10. It's an okay movie. Certainly shut up your kids for an hour and a half. And it's definitely a nice movie. Good prequel. Although a lot of people wanted to see a sequel on how... So, you know what? Forget it. Moving on to Monsters Inc. Anyway, it takes place like 10, maybe 20 years, I don't know. Oh, they're all adults now. And Sully is actually one of the scarers, top scarers, one of the top scarers. You see, apparently, Monstropolis, whatever the town's called, apparently they needed power by scaring children. Apparently, the monsters are more scared of us than we are of them. And the reason why they make us scream is because they need our screams for power. That's kind of cool, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Anyway, so Sully's a top scarer. Randall is also there, wanting to upstage Sully, and he becomes one of the villains, and apparently, yeah. And you see, one night, when Sully was trying to get Mikey's paperwork, or because he's on a date with his girlfriend, Cecilia, played by Jennifer Tilly, Sully is met by a mysterious door that's white and filled with flowers. And apparently, he meets a little girl. Oh, he's freaked out by the little girl, but then grows attached to her. He calls her Boo, who apparently, well, actually, fun fact, did you actually know if you look at her drawings she makes in the movie, you see, in the movie, she makes some drawings, and she signs her name on the drawings, and her name is Mary. So in other words, her name is not Boo, it's Mary. Anyway, so, yeah. Anyway, so Sully wants to send her back to her house, so everything can go back to normal. But apparently there's quarantine where all these other monsters in yellow suits try and search the place for the kid. It's just crazy. And I really love how we got to sort of explore the factory with these two goofballs trying to find where Boo is and try to send her back to her door. And, I kind of wish we got to see more of this place. Again, I hope we get to see that in the spin-off. Anyway, I kind of grew up watching Monsters, Inc., It's a great movie. I kind of wish we got to see more of the factory. How did they get the screams in those can things, And you see, what happens is, Randall and Water News are actually baddies who want to kidnap children and use their screams because apparently children are not as terrified anymore. No kidding. If you watch the Freddy Krueger trilogy from beginning to end and maybe reboot and watched all of that, you wouldn't be scared by these guys. So no wonder the kids are not scared as they used to. So Water News teamed up with Randall to try and kidnap children so they can harness their screams so they can power their city. I understand where he's coming from, but still, kidnapping children? He said he will kidnap 1,000 children before he lets this company die and silence anyone who gets in his way. Ooh, that's dark. Anyway, I also especially love that part where they shove Randall through that door and he ends up in the trailer from A Bug's Life. And the guy and the kid's all like, there's a gator guy in the house. And the mother's all like, quickly, give me that shovel. I know we don't get to see it, but we see it in shadow form. But it's freaking hilarious. Seriously, who is the freaking genius who came up with that part? Oh, Jennifer Tilly, was that you? I just love that part. I wish we got to see it through the trailer. Actually, and the kid is like, yeah, Mom, get the gator guys. That part just cracks me up. Favorite part. Well, actually, my favorite part is the climax acts where Sully, Mike, try to find Boo's door in that entire room full with doors. That way, they keep going through door, trying to find Boo's door while also being hunted down by Randall. That part was actually pretty cool. This is what I mean. I wish we got to see more of that. I wish the thing would have lasted for 10 minutes, That would have been awesome. We got to see more of how they got through the thing and just, it's really cool. I thought it was my favorite part in the movie and the part with the, I know I said Randall didn't deserve to I am assuming, got killed. But still, that part was pretty funny. Anyway, all in all, Monsters, Inc. and Monsters, Inc. and Monster University is a good movie franchise. Sure, Monsters University is just basically showing that Michael lied when he said you were jealous of my good looks since the 4th grade. But all in all, they're pretty good movies, especially the first one. Who wouldn't love the first one? It's a cult classic. I rank Monsters, Inc. a 10 out of 10. It's a good movie. Kind of wish we did get a sequel about Boo and Sully and just, I mean, hopefully we get to see that in Monsters at Work. So, Monsters Inc., 9 out of 10. Monsters University, 8 out of 10. They're good movies. Recommend them to people you love, people you hate, etc. And if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna watch that that Monsters Inc. scene where Randall got attacked by that mama. Anyway, bye.